Welcome everyone to Politically High Tech with your host Elias. This is 145th episode. Got a little blank there. And this is going to be about something very revolutionary. If you heard about it, you must be a science buff, a super nerd, or something. Because this is something, if I'm a betting man, I bet you never heard of it. I definitely didn't hear of it until a few minutes ago. Just be quite frank, I'm being honest with you here. This is something very interesting. I love to, see new things, odd things, innovative. Even sometimes odd could be offensive, but I'll consider this innovative because once Tom Paladino, that's the guest name by the way, gives you some education, history, and especially if you watch this on video, I have a demonstration, a little sci-fi project, if you will. So I don't want to make the intro too long. Let's welcome Tom.
And thank you so much for the invitation. We're going to have an enjoyable conversation.
Now that I am sure. What I am is curious as a kid about how this thing works. So for starters, you probably got asked this so many times already. What the heck is scalar energy?
Everybody's an expert at scalar energy. It's the natural energy of the sun and the stars. That's what I work with, the energy of the sun and the stars. And this energy fills the universe. It's everywhere. And to the point that we don't even realize it. Well, I've developed instruments. Behind me are some scalar energy instruments that control that natural energy of the sun and the stars. Now, to put this into context, other names for scalar energy are chi or prana or zero-point energy. Some people call it pyramid energy, life force energy. It is distinct from electricity. Well, these instruments behind me are not electrical instruments, they're zero-point energy instruments. And what you can do with zero-point energy or scalar energy far exceeds the capability of electricity.
Hey, hear that? We've been interacting with it. We didn't know what the heck it was, but we interacted with it. You know, the Earth is so mysterious, so we got to admit, as human beings, we don't know every single thing. I certainly don't. If you try to act like you know it all, you're just exposed to the world that you're the biggest idiot. But we've been interacting with this energy for so long, we don't even know it. But that's actually the easiest way of breaking it down. So I hope we get this listener, especially the audio. I hope you're listening well. For you audio listeners, got to use some imagery, just to comprehend or even visualize what Tom is will do, especially with this. This is very, very fascinating. So, how was this discovered?
Nikola Tesla was the first man to harness the energy. That doesn't surprise anybody. Nikola Tesla, the great genius, one of the true geniuses, a man who could both invent, theorize, and then, if you will, demonstrate his discoveries. Well, I have behind me a Tesla instrument or a scalar energy instrument, and I owe a great deal of credit to Nikola Tesla and another scientist by the name of Galen Hieronymus. I am not the originator. I did not discover this technique. Tesla and Hieronymus discovered this technique. I've perfected the instruments, and now I'm ready to present to the world this free energy from the sun and the stars. I'm going to demonstrate to the audience what I mean by that. This instrument is on. It's operating. Now imagine the sun, how the sun gives off energy, light. The sun, the stars, that's free energy. God creates that energy. Now, to demonstrate this instrument is on, and what am I getting at? I can illuminate a light bulb in my hand. I'm going to hold a light bulb. You can see this light bulb is not plugged into anything. I place that light bulb in the vicinity of the instrument. The light bulb illuminates under the influence of free energy. That's a free energy instrument. So
let me just interrupt. See, that looks almost magical. How you just move that lamp right near the instrument, it lights up. You don't need a metal conductor or even some physical or invisible energy. So actually, no, it is invisible. I mean, I'm sure it's something that connects to it. I mean, correct me here. I'm a complete dummy to subject. Feel free to correct the host.
No, you're no dummy.
So
what you witnessed was star energy illuminating a light bulb without the need of an electrical outlet.
Visual consumers of this episode, you're definitely getting a treat. It's got a little sci-fi project. This is like, this may sound a little, so this is like, like a hands-on science project, when when kids used to just come up with something, oh, look at this, go just see how it works and all that, you know. For me, I'm just as excited as that kid. So that's phenomenal. That was a red light bulb that just light up. So it's a good color choice. Blue would have definitely, they would have contrasted just a little better. But the red was good enough for
That's
sure.
So what am I getting at? These instruments do not behave like electricity. Now, when I work with these instruments, I'm able to work with people by way of the photograph. So what I'm going to explain to your audience, this is not a biological process, it's quantum, it's energy. And I don't work with people, I work with photographs which have a force field or a signature on the photograph. If I were to place my photograph inside this instrument, that instrument now is illuminating me just like it would illuminate a light bulb. So once again, if I can illuminate a light bulb, well, likewise, I'm illuminating my brain waves, my chakras with this instrument. Imagine how much energy that is going into me through my photograph. That's what we call a chakra balancing or an energy enhancement. All of that is done through the interface of a photograph. Again, it's not a biological process. We're accessing a different dimension here, the dimension of thought. So if my work is non-physical, it is. If it's all information, it is. It's not a chemical process. It's an informational process. This is the new science of information in which you don't need chemicals. You don't need physical reality. You can impart information, intelligence.
So now remember, it's not physical, chemical. This is what quantum. Well, I could even say, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe even spiritual in some sense.
Yes,
I don't know.
it is. It is. What a religious person might say spirit or the spirit of God or if you will, angelic forms, or somebody might call it an aura or their soul, or others might call it consciousness. If you're a scientist, you might call it quantum or non-physical information. That's what this is. We're in a new realm. We're way beyond the physical. We're above the physical. This is non-physical information.
So Tom Paladino, the perfecter / promoter of scalar energy. So that's wonderful, yeah, and especially bringing Nikola Tesla's work to life. I mean, I've studied him, but I'm a history buff, so I like to get into people, especially fascinating people that have discovered new things that have definitely paved the way. But I think you don't get enough credit, obviously. A lot of things, more people just discovering him. I think that's good. That's a step in the right direction. But more people need to know, especially the science buffs, the history buffs like myself, just others in general. It's I think this is wonderful. So there's a little history reference. Nikola Tesla, and you definitely have to name a couple other scientists because it's not ringing a bell to me, were the discoverers, the originators of discovering this source. They create themselves because they're human, obviously. It's created by the stars, forces that are beyond human, but we use them. So that's phenomenal stuff, indeed. So let me just wear the devil's advocate hat for a second, and actually wear opposition's hat for a second. How will you deal with a naysayer who just thinks you're crazy? How does this work? It's let's just assume you didn't do a demonstration. You just talked about it. That sounds crazy. Yeah. Are you trying to scam me?
That's a good point. So this is new technology. Frankly, I don't expect people to understand this. If I didn't have 25, 30 years of experience, I would not understand this. So I'm introducing something brand new. Go back 100 years ago. If somebody spoke to you about a computer or a cell phone 100 years ago, we didn't have computers and cell phones 100 years ago, but now it's in the norm. So this is a new technology. I have to introduce this. This takes time for the people to catch on.
Yeah, just like with anything new, right? Even the internet. If you would have said the internet 50 years ago, I say, you're crazy, dude. This is not going to happen. Look, they were going to the moon. That was insane. Even at the time when it was happening, that was insane. Those was achieved. Like, oh, it's possible. Oh my goodness. Especially the naysayers that feel so dumb with their jaws drop. I understand them. I'm not going to be harsh on them. I mean, I've been a skeptic on some new things and about something popular workers. Okay. The thing is, I don't stay stay skeptical or become a naysayer for too long, until it really works. This could be a point in time where, you have to come to grips with reality that it is possible, especially if it's done already. Now, I can say beforehand it wasn't done, but since it's done, at some point one has to drop their stubbornness. So yeah, that's a risk for anything new. You're gonna have a couple of naysayers. So okay, now I'm gonna flip the frame of question more positive. So what are the positive aspects? Does it improve anything? Because based on I was able to skim through the sets, I know it should improve health in some way, shape, or form.
It does. It does. So let me once again demonstrate. The amount of energy going into this photograph through this Tesla coil is the identical energy going into my brain and my chakras, into my non-physical being. Now, once again, that amount of energy can illuminate a light bulb. That's the identical energy entering into my mind and my 7 chakras. The photograph is me. I am the photograph. So my photograph is my bilocated version. And if my photograph is experiencing that amount of light, I feel that right now in my forehead. I feel that energy in my forehead. And if you will, it's immersed. I feel an immersion in that energy. The point is this: scalar energy working in that capacity can correct our brain waves and our chakras. What is the upshot? People are happier. People say they no longer have an addiction to alcohol, to recreational drugs. Some people say their sleep pattern improves. They can sleep a much more deep, meaningful sleep. So this is a new science in which if we can illuminate a light bulb, and we can illuminate the mind, and we can illuminate our conscience. You don't need drugs, you don't need surgery. All I need is a photograph to access my aura, my quantum field. So you see me here, this is flesh and blood. I'm a human being, but my person is placed on that photograph. My soul, mind, and body is on that photograph. So nobody comes to my laboratory. I never perform in-person sessions. The photograph is your substitution. You don't have to come here. Why? This is your bilocated version. I treat your photograph, which is akin to treating you.
So can it work with any type of photograph, even if I just print one out of a printer, for example, or does it need a particular paper?
I can work on any photograph. When I started in the 90s, I was working with Polaroid photographs. A Polaroid worked well. I've worked with newspaper clippings. I've worked with emailed photographs, a digital photograph, if you will. I've worked with 35 millimeter photographs. I've even worked with X-rays. An X-ray still captures a person's character or their signature. So when we're working with light, now keep in mind, light is fundamental. Light never makes a mistake, whether it's a Polaroid as a source of light, a 35 millimeter is a source of light. My X-rays are a source of light. Or an emailed photograph, all of that is a source of light. When I work with light, light never makes a mistake. Light energy is dependable. Light is fundamental. It's not subject to human reasoning.
Yeah, well, it actually is beyond human reasoning because we try to make reason out of it. I think our brains will explode. Quite frankly, I was just happy. Well, we'll eventually get to that understanding. At least I hope. Well, so that's actually wonderful. So, for example, if you was to take a picture, let's just use your smartphone, for example. If you would have done that work, my auras, my chakras, or chi energy I would have experienced correction or balancing it out, because I'm sure, look, a lot of us humans are imbalanced out. Mental illness is through the roof. I'm sure that could deal with some of that. Light even gives us vitamin D.
Yes,
So,
thank you.
But through sunlight.
Now consider, if we did not have the sunlight, there would be no life on Earth. Everything derives its life, L-I-F-E, from sunlight. But that's how important this research is. I am bringing people the source of life, which is light, scalar light.
That is how this interests you, or even spark a light bulb in your head, because this is such interesting stuff, and we definitely need more options, because this medication, over medicating, smoking too much cannabis, look, you live your life, I live mine. I'm at the time I'm gonna judging that much, but if you bring it to my attention, I'm going to be pretty vocal at times, and I won't say what to judge it because I'm not perfect. I've done those things too. But, we do need to find alternatives, and I am a proponent of free market and different ideas. I mean, why not? Why not? And I'm happy that you are the promoter and the perfecter of this, or else, let's just be frank. Most people don't know what the heck this thing is. We probably won't discover it, so probably another 200 years. Especially with social media, I think dumbing down people's brains, but that's just my hot take. Since I'm going to keep it technological, I'm going to be very critical of overusing social media. Not talking against social media, overusing social media just for if we could watch it to gain misinformation and spread misinformation, think it's true, then
I agree. Social media is a great tool if you use it wisely to educate yourself. To play video games excessively or to dumb yourself down with what I call pabulum, you're wasting your time. So, the television, the computer, those are great inventions. It's the programming that needs to change.
Yeah, and that's why I eventually came to realization. Ain't going to be gone, but it's just I'm going to frame it, though. I like the way you frame it. The programming, the content needs to change for the better because a lot of stuff in there, quite frankly, as I get wiser, I'm already in my early 30s. I am not interested or even amused by a lot of the junk I used to watch in my teens or even early 20s. I said, this is just destroying brain cells. I mean, a person would have an IQ of 100. If I would have did an IQ test on these people, they probably would have dropped 20 points or more. Who knows? I'm probably being dramatic, but it does dumb people down or screws over people's prioritization about what it means to live a good life or where you should look at a partner instead of just perfect looking body parts just to keep it clean. Please, I'm going to keep it. But I think my political segment, I will normally be a little more strong and controversial, uncensored, but I think I got enough. I feel a little bit of that light. I think it's correcting my brain waves not to use low bass, strong negative. So I'm just gonna think that. Okay, just for that. So that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal stuff. I mean, I really hope it becomes a big success, expands, and hopefully have more people be practitioners of this. Well, of course, because don't get me wrong, hospitals are good, all this stuff is good, but I'm always open to different options, and I think more options people have, the better. That's my overall opinion.
That's what we're trying to do today. Raise awareness to this new technology and how this can help us. This is simple, easy, it's not a drug, it's painless, has nothing to do with a biological reaction. There's no chemicals.
Right, and I'm assuming, are there any side effects to this thing? To this? No? Yeah. I just had to ask it, but
no, it's a good
I
question.
assume no.
It's intelligence. See, I impart intelligence, information. Nobody ever had an allergic reaction to intelligence.
Yeah. Well, unless they feel stupid, but that's a whole nother thing. That's more ego on the other side. That's the only allergic reaction you can say. Oh, so you called me stupid? I can't figure this out? That's more of an ego problem, Maybe need a little extra light in there somewhere.
I'm going to explain a technique that I've developed in which I can identify a germ or a virus, if you will, by a photograph. Now, let me explain this to your audience. I'm going to hold up a photograph of our virus. This is very common. Some people say that causes mononucleosis, or fatigue, malaise. It's very common. Many people in the world have it. Most of the people in the world have it. If I were to match up that virus with my photograph inside the instrument, the two force fields will communicate. Remember, everything that I do is by way of information. This is not chemical. My photograph has information. The photograph of Epstein-Barr has information. When I place these two photographs in the instrument simultaneously, they communicate. If I have Epstein-Barr in my quantum field, this photograph of Epstein-Barr will find the virus and destroy it. So we communicate by way of photographs. We don't communicate by way of drugs or massage, etc. It's always by way of a photograph. In this case, a photograph of a virus communicates with my quantum field. And that's how I can eradicate, remove, bring to a state of chaos a virus.
I knew that the light could kill bacteria and even fungus, especially when you just shine a light towards it. It stops growing and it gets it kills off. Especially if you focus it more precisely. But you said that even kills viruses.
That's correct.
So, well, I'm not going to say that's going to even prevent a pandemic because you have to throw millions of photos and do all that work. I'm sure it's possible if you do some kind of mass manufacturing of the thing, I'm sure. But it seems like that could do a small scale. Am I correct with that machine so far? Of a few photos?
The scope of scalar energy can be magnified a million times. Let me explain. I can work with one photograph, or I can work with miniaturized photographs. Today, I work with 500 miniaturized photographs, 500,000 photographs today in my instrument. So you can see the potential here in which I can place photographs inside the instrument. That instrument can easily accommodate 1 million, 2 million photographs simultaneously. So I can
that's a very, wow, you outperform factories. All the production, all these physical factories that makes thousands of things.
You're right. That's where we're going with this. You don't need a factory. All you need is the outcome. Now, the old way of doing it in the physical world, you need the physical factory. In the new world, in this new paradigm, you need information to impart that information to perform the outcome that you want. We don't need a physical infrastructure. A physical infrastructure is obsolete.
Wow, let's piss off Amazon with that one.
Now, you see where we're going with this. We don't need factories. We don't need telephone poles. We don't need induction motors. We don't need computers. We don't need satellites. This information system pre-exists. I don't have to create a power plant. I don't have to connect to cell phone towers or satellites. We don't need to create an infrastructure. The universe is the infrastructure.
It looks like it doesn't take much source and material to build that invention, is have it working. It just takes a lot from light that which is already there since, I'm sure, before even the Earth was formed.
So we're going back to nature, sunlight, starlight. We're imitating nature. This is a miniature sun. I'll show how strong this energy is. I mentioned how I can illuminate a light bulb. Well, nothing can impede this energy. I'm going to perform a quick experiment. I'm going to hold up a wooden board. This is a cutting board. This board, if placed by the instrument, will not be able to impede the energy. You will still be able to illuminate a light bulb. The wooden board does not stop the illumination of the light bulb.
I like that. He makes it extra difficult and it still proves success. He tried to block it with wood. Wood was not effective at all. It was as if the wood wasn't really there. All it did was just separate the space a little bit, but still generated light regardless.
So what's the point? Nothing can stop this energy. So we could broadcast this through a mountain range. We could broadcast this through the center of the earth. Nothing can stop this energy. That's my point. You don't need to create an infrastructure. You don't need electrical wires. You don't need substations.
Oh, that is amazing. And in some ways, we do need to go back to nature. I think we are losing sense, especially in the more developed, advanced nations. Some humans are losing sense of who we are as a species. We are social creatures by nature, and we need to get more in touch with nature. You know, don't get me wrong. I like living in the city and all that, but I'm also enjoying being out, interact nature, be more in park, enjoying the clean air. I mean, I haven't felt clean air, especially when these restrictions happen with the pandemic. I haven't smelled clean air like that in such a long time. It wasn't so much cars and people and planes and all the others that pass by. I mean, appreciation. I may sound like a bit of a lefty there in that sense, but I haven't smelled air that clean in such a long time, especially in 2020. That's just my anecdote. Don't take it as a scientific fact, but I felt the air is just so much cleaner. But my point is, you need to be more connected to nature. Find time to go out, and and if you want to be open-minded, try Tom Paladino's invention. Just give it a shot. Give it a shot, and go out more too. Because remember, at the end of the day, light is beneficial. Of course, don't stare at the sun. Obviously, you go blind. That's how strong the sun's energy is. Oh, of course, you're not using it that way. I mean, that'd be the foolish way how to utilize that kind of energy. Oh, let me look at the sun. Ah, too much vitamin D overload for your eyes. It's not for your eyes, it's for your skin. Okay, that's the application. Not for your eyes. You know, unless we have ultra. I forgot what kind of glasses they're called that you can actually see the sun, but that's be really, really powerful. You know, so that's just my little off the rant take with that, but that's amazing stuff, and I really hope this flourishes, expands. You know, I really do hope so. I mean, I'm fascinated, to be honest. I'm rarely this fascinated. Like, oh, okay, it's a nice tech, a new phone, new TV, new game console. That's nice. They move by centimeters innovation, but this is opening a different realm.
You're right. It's a new way of living.
Yeah.
If we can eliminate expensive energy and replace it with clean, renewable, inexpensive energy, that should change the social order. That's what I'd like to see. We're going to liberate mankind. We will push it the benefit of it.
So that's amazing. I definitely do I have any more questions? So let me just do the plug-in for you. So his website, which he kindly put in the chat, so I don't have to go through 1,000 tabs I have open, to www.scalar. You spell that with SCALAR, light, LIGHT.com. And he's even giving you 15 days worth of free sessions. It's very easy to find. He has it up, down. It's very easy to find. You have to, you have to be really dense not to find it. So it's out in the open. It's no secret. Give it a shot. He's giving you 15 days free. You could have said, I'm going to charge you. But he's giving you a chance to try for free to see how you like it. Pretty generous deal if you ask me. So give it a shot, people. Just give it a shot. That's not risky. Risk-free. Come on. That's all I gotta say. Is there anything else you want to add? Any other plugin I need to?
No, that's concise. We'll leave it there. Let's change the world. Tesla Energy, free energy will change the world. Just help me promote this. Help me get the word out. I work alone. I'm not attached with government or big business. I'll keep it that way. I don't trust government and big business.
So you heard it. I'll say independent, free from the corporate chains that wants to, just exploit things for profit. Let's just be clear. And I'm not loyal to corporations myself. So give it a shot, people. There's going to be organic, I would just say, movement in a sense. I don't want to make it sound too political. No, definitely a new way of life. Because we need to balance ourselves together. We are in balance somewhere. Too much serotonin, too much of this, too much brain activity or too little brain activity for certain folks. We need a balance, people. We need a balance. And I'm trying to get healthier myself. I am not the best example of a healthy role model. So I'm trying to get healthy myself. So I'm willing to even give this a shot myself. So give it a shot. Give it a shot. Remember, go to www.scalarlight.com for 15 days, 15, of free sessions. Come on, he's even letting you freeload for a bit.
Include your family. Remember, sending photos of your pets.
Yep. So send this to your loved ones, family. I'm sure it's even safe for children. Children's exposed to light a lot of times. So give it a shot. You feel really good. Support him with your dollars after that. You shouldn't be doubtful after that. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Spread the word out. That's my only assignment to you. Spread this word out, your listeners. So, all right. Anything else you want to add?
Oh, that's it. Thanks for your time. And I hope you enjoyed this conversation.